JC on the rocks. And right now I'm joined with Taylor Momsen from the Pretty Reckless. And first of all, Taylor, I know you're on the road right now. It's the Dear God Tour. I had a chance to see you a couple of weeks at Rockfest in Cadott, Wisconsin. How was your Rockfest experience this year, especially being on the smaller stage compared to being on the main stage?
I gotta tell you, Rockfest has been one of my favorite shows of the tour so far. Rockfest was awesome. It was super awesome. The crowd was crazy. It was, it was one of those crowds where we were like in a chicken coop situation, but it was ex all the way back and all the way in every direction. You couldn't see an end of the crowd kind of thing. And it was loud and they were passionate and it was a blast. It
Well,
was
the
super.
cool thing about playing the stage you did is your hardcore fans get a chance to get up there right away. Whereas when you're playing on the main stage, it's the VIPers, which there are definitely hardcore fans here, but maybe not all the hardcore fans.
Exactly. And you get that it's the smaller stages are fun because you get the best of both worlds. You get that intimate connection with the fans because they're right up in your face, but it's a festival, so it goes, there's kind of no end in sight. So it also feels like a stadium where they're way far in the back as well. So you get kind of both things happening at the same time, which is just awesome.
Let's talk about Dear God. And I guess I want to get into this album a little bit. And, Dear God to me feels incredibly personal. At what point did you realize these songs belong together as an album rather than as individual stories?
Well, I think, every time I write an album, I never sit down with a concept of like this is what this record's going to say. The songs kind of fall from the sky, if I'm being honest. Like, you kind of have to wait for inspiration to hit you. And I try to always just kind of write as honestly and truthfully as I possibly can because that's why I do this. Like I write songs to express something in me that I have to get out of myself. Like I do it for me. And then over the course of that time period, however long that takes, common themes kind of start to develop, and you start to notice that there's a through line to, what I'm writing about, or which isn't necessarily intentional. It's just kind of happenstance as to where my mind is at, and that's how an album is born. And then you take a step back and you go, oh, this is a record now.
Very cool. The next question kind of leads into why was Dear God the right title for this chapter of your life?
A whole bunch of reasons. I mean, the title came around when I wrote the title track to the record, when I wrote Dear God, which that to me was kind of a feat of writing it's a song I'm very proud of to accomplish a song that is 6 minutes and change and have it not feel, at least in my opinion, that it's that long. Like it doesn't feel that long to me. It never gets droll. It never feels like there was nothing to cut. There was no way to like shorten that. And so that song is kind of the pinnacle and kind of opus of of the record, in my opinion. And it kind of ties everything together. But on the grander scheme, it's also, if you look at the album as a whole, it's very much one giant confession. Like it's a giant confession of my life and a letter to God. And so that title, as soon as that song was written, it was very apparent to all of us that that was the title of the album. It also has the fun little double meaning that you can, depending on, how you emphasize dear God. It's dear God like a letter, or it's dear God. It's a lot. It's a lot of a lot going on here.
I can understand that. Was there one song on the album that surprised you emotionally while you're recording it?
I wouldn't say surprised me, but there was definitely some songs on this album that were emotional undertakings. I never sing anything out. Like I never actually sing I sing in falsetto and kind of in my head and I never sing it for real until there's a microphone in front of me. Because I think that the first, like 99% of the vocals are always done in the first two takes. Because there's something to that first emotional realization and response, or whatever you want to call it, that first, that charge. And so I think there was quite a few songs on this that kind of took me by surprise when I actually opened my mouth. Devil in Disguise was certainly one. I mean, I knew was going to be an emotional undertaking because that was written, it's actually written and recorded in the same day, which was the fastest song we've ever, um, only song we've ever done like that. It was my, I lost my friend and I wrote and recorded that song that same day. So that was a very emotional 24 hours to say the least. But quite a few of them just in different ways.
Very cool. How has performing the new songs been so far? And have you seen the change in the energy in your live shows?
Performing the new songs has been the greatest thing to happen to us. It's
Okay.
mostly just because I love this record so much. And the songs themselves, there's an effortlessness to them where they kind of play themselves, like they sound like us. Like we didn't have to take this record and then it's not very produced. So we didn't have to take this record and then get into a rehearsal space and figure out how to strip it back to a three-piece band. It just is what we sound like. So taking it from the studio to a live setting has been very, very natural and very, very fun. Like I feel like this record represents me and represents us so through and through that there's a naturalness to it that is just incredibly exciting and incredibly fun. And anytime when we finally get to the new material in the set, like we're all psyched. So there's a fire in us now that I don't want to say we didn't have before, but it's like certainly reignited. And the fan response has just been incredible and it's awesome. It's super awesome.
Now, of course, every song is your baby, obviously, but which Dear God track has become your favorite so far to perform already?
I don't know how to pick one. The right now we're still slowly adding new songs.
Okay.
If I had my druthers, I would just play Dear God from front to back, but I don't know that that would fly with all the fans right now. One day, but we're slowly adding more and more, and so every night is kind of its own experience. But I mean, For I Am Death is the first song we've added to the set, and it's the first one of the new material that we play in our set currently. So I look forward to that because it's kind of the turning point in the set where I go, okay, now here's the new stuff. Like now here we go. So For I'm Death, When I Wake Up, Love Me. We just debuted Dear God, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Spell on You is awesome. It's all of them, man.
They're all
I
your
don't know. I'm
babies.
just listing the record right now. I don't know how to pick. But For I Am Death is the start of it. It's the start of the new material in the set. So I'll say that for
It's
now.
tough. It's tough. It's like kids. You can't pick one. You got to pick them all, right?
You really can't. And not in the way of like I feel like I'm being a good parent and just not saying which one's my favorite. Like they really are all my favorites.
Absolutely. Looking back at Light Me Up, okay, what
Yeah.
would the version of Taylor think about hearing Dear God?
Oh, good question. I mean, I think she'd be really psyched on it. I think because I am her and I'm really psyched on it. I think that the cool thing about Dear God to me is that I keep saying in a lot of ways it feels a lot like Light Me Up, but not musically, not in that way, but in the way that it feels like our first record. Like it feels like it has that same kind of fire. It came from that same pure place of inspiration. And it really represents, who we are and where we're at in a very genuine way. And Light Me Up did that too. So it's in a lot of ways it feels like the first album, but just with all the life I've lived in between. So it's kind of, it's the mature version of that. And it kind of feels like a fresh start in a lot of ways, which is interesting to have that in your career, 5 records deep.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I know we got to get going here, but I got two quick questions. Maybe this question will be a little bit odd for me to ask, but is there one question, because you do a lot of interviews,
Yeah,
that you've hoped an interview would ask about the album, but nobody has yet?
that's a really good question. And I would need way more coffee to answer that.
Is there
Um,
something, I mean, it's always the cookie cutter questions, but is there something about this album that you're like, I wish somebody would ask me about this, but they haven't?
not that I can think of off the
Okay.
top of my head. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been asked about the Life Evermores a few times, but I'm surprised I haven't been asked about that more.
Okay.
Um, that's my first immediate
Okay.
thought.
Yeah, it's especially when in a short period of time, it's like just boom, boom. Can I think of something? But yeah. Last question for me. If fans are still talking about one song from Dear God 10 years from now, which one do you hope it is and why?
I hope they're talking about the whole record. I don't because well, I do because the reality is I don't write with singles in mind. Like I don't think that way. So I don't like the concept of singles to me is a bizarre one to begin with. Like to
Yeah,
cherry pick a song out of an album and go, this represents us and this represents me and this represents the album. Only listen to this is such a strange thing in general. Because I don't write like that. I write a record, and every song is equally as important as the next one because cohesively together it tells the full story. Um, so I hope they're talking about the album. I don't know how to pick one song off of that and say this is the one, you know.
right. I'm guessing your radio team's going to let me know what the next song is going to be on radio. Can you leak me what's going to be next or not?
I think so. And even if I can't, I can. I'm in charge. I'm the boss.
All right.
I think we are going with About You, and I am incredibly excited about it because that is, you asked, see, I even forgot a song. About You, we've debuted live and we've been playing that, and it is a blast. It is just high octane from the get-go, and it is one of the songs I look forward to the most. So psyched that while having to pick singles, and even though that's not my favorite thing, psyched that that's the next one.
And can you give us a quick what is it all about?
I mean, it's hard to sum up it's hard to sum up songs because
I know. I know.
it's never one thing. But musically the song it's very aggressive, it almost has a punk feel to it. It's kind of on stun from the minute it starts, and it's a fight, it's a fight. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Taylor, I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy. You're on tour. I wish you the best of luck the rest of this tour in the US and going overseas too. That should be a lot of fun later this fall, early winter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're out and we're loving it.
Thanks so much, Taylor. Take care.
Thank you so much, man. Have a great day.
Once again, that's Taylor Momsen. That is the Pretty Reckless. I'm Jay Z, and on the rocks.